Okay, want to welcome everyone. It has been a minute, but we're glad, and the boys are back in town. How is everyone doing this fine day?
It's great to be back.
It definitely
I
is.
feel like it's like when the Winans said, "It's great to be back." It's so lovely to see all of you in the same place at the same time. This is lovely. So yeah,
Definitely, definitely. The last weekend in July, it's been a busy July for me, but um, yes, some respite for the moment. Um, we've got a special guest with us today. We've got none other than Jordan Knight from New Kids on the Block. How are you doing, Mr. Knight?
Yeah, hey guys, I just got off the set of the Dirty Dog video, and I'm about to go in the studio with Teddy. I make Face the Music album. I can't wait. Hope all my fans are still with me in this musical direction change. And we're gonna go New Jack Swing and hippity hop, because we're hanging tough, y'all.
Okay, okay, that's pretty good. All right. Hey, Jizz and Sacred Conductor, Dwayne, welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Okay. Uh, we've got two nights. Andrew Knight, how have you been?
Man, I'm doing good. And I love how Dwayne Lacey said this must be the 94 album. He already knew just from, Jordan's era with the hat and the sunglasses. He's ready to do that dirty dog. I'm doing great. Busy as ever. Looking forward to 2027. It's going to be heaven. It's going to be more balanced. But this year and last year have been nuts. But yeah, we're about 6 weeks away from me having a ring like this on this finger. So it's exciting time, and I'm going to be reunited with my boys, Stevie, who couldn't be here because Jordan's here instead, and BJ as well in the bright big city of Las Vegas. So,
Yeah.
man.
We may have this scenario where Superman and Clark Kent can't be in the same place at the same time.
See,
Yeah. Congratulations. Yes, I had attended my nephew's wedding yesterday and drove 160 miles back early this morning. So it definitely the sleep comes in early today. But all right. And VJ, what about you?
yeah, I've been good. Just I was at in a random place yesterday with my mum, and I bumped into Rod Stewart yesterday, which was really
Wow.
fun. That was nice. And then I was telling Stevie earlier in the week I was at a jazz jam session at Ronnie Scott's, and Anderson Paak came there as well. So got to talk to him a little bit there.
Wow.
So Anderson Paak and Rod Stewart this week. I met both of them. I've met Rod before, but Anderson Paak was amazing. I didn't realize how incredible that boy is on the drums. I mean, yeah, this guy's on a different planet, man.
Wow.
So yeah,
Was he here for the Bruno Mars concert at
I think
Wembley?
they did the show at Wembley Stadium. He would have done the show at Wembley Stadium, and then he just wanted to listen to some more music, and then he played some music. And he was with a guy called Maurice Brown, who's also won a Grammy before, trumpet player, and they both performed together, which was, I mean, I wasn't expecting that at all, man. Very cool.
Okay, that is good. So, for those who are coming in, there's lots of people who are fans of this album, Face the Music. I must say, and I'll be honest, that I was not. I remember when they changed their name, and I was confused by the name change, and unfortunately, the album didn't do as well. So it would be good for those of us who weren't too familiar with the transition from Hanging Tough and the big debut to this album, and what's your memories were when this album came out, and actually of the group itself.
Oof. Oof. I was slightly embarrassed to buy it, to be quite honest. I remember the promos of Dirty Dog coming out, and it was like it was a white label with a stamp on it, and they changed the name, and I think they were trying to hide who they were for just a bit. It didn't seem to last long enough, but I think it shocked a lot of people, because before you just associated New Kids on the Block just being pop, like bubblegum pop just for the girls, and suddenly they completely changed their image, changed the sound. But it was tough enough. The production was there. They had Nice and Smooth on the rap. So anyone who's into that sound that we were into was going to go for it. But
yeah,
I reluctantly bought the album. It had production from Teddy on it. That sold it for me, and it would have sold it for a lot of other people. But it wasn't like I'm rushing out to buy it. I was like, oh, do I really want to buy this New Kids on the Block album? But that was then. Now it's like, it's another album that I kind of cherish, really. And over the years, so many different tracks have grown on me and become my favourites. But it's interesting that after this album, they didn't make another one till about 2008. So that it must have completely bombed for them. And I don't know whether they fell out after it or not, but long time to wait for another album. But they did come back. They came back again in good style, didn't they? They really came back strong.
Okay.
I think Andrew might have some thoughts about how they came back, but I was just going to say before that, I think my thoughts were very similar to Stevie. I wasn't a fan of them per se. I was very judgmental about and picky, a snob even about the kind of music I would buy or listen to. But the fact that Greg Nice and Smooth B were on that remix, yeah, you had to get it. Greg Nice and Smooth were a big deal, like to all of us music collectors. Like if it was a Nice and Smooth featured rap, you're going to buy it. And I like that they changed their name from New Kids on the Block to NKOTB. I actually respected that. I thought they were trying to change their image. But at the end of the day, they're New Kids on the Block. They're massive. And it didn't really matter whether they were called NKOTB or New Kids on the Block. And now I actually embrace the idea that they're called New Kids on the Block. And that 2008 album that you're talking about, I remember buying that somewhere in Miami. Me and Monica bought it at some store. And that was the CD we had in our car. We absolutely hammered that. Going around Miami, that was our CD. That was the one, and what an album, man! That 2008 album is killer. We should do that one day. We should do that because there's so many like hits on it. That I can do, and I can do it well. But this album, I don't know it that well, so it'll be interesting how we navigate through this. But yeah, that's how I felt about the album when it came out.
Okay, what about you, Andrew?
So I have to actually remember not to talk too much because Boston is important to me. Obviously, I'm repping the other Boston group right now today. It was appropriate. There's so much I could say. What I will say is this. I remember back in '88 hearing The Right Stuff and thinking the New Kids were not cool at all until I saw the Hand Tough video. And as a red-blooded Canadian at the time, Ghanaian/American male, I saw all those girls screaming and falling out over them. And like I said before, I was like, I want that. I don't want to hate. I want to participate, So for me, it became almost like I had to be on the low, like New Kids on the Block, but I was just on the low about it. I'm not, and even today, you'll probably notice, I didn't tag myself everywhere. We're reviewing New Kids on the Block because we're Gen X, man. Gen X will never really be that cool with New Kids on the Block as far as being a dude, right? But anyway, when this album came out, I was rooting for him. However, I saw him on Arsenio. Jordan had the Caesar and everything, but John had already pieced out. The rumor was he got into a horsing accident, but the real reason was the anxiety that John had was just so much. He was just done with NKOTBs. It was just 4 of them. Bought the album, liked the album. You know, I thought there was a lot of singles on there that could have actually done better than what happened. But you know, ultimately, I just read now this album, as of 2008, according to Nielsen, reading this on Wikipedia, had only sold 138,000 copies, and it speaks to the sociological aspect of music, and that is between 1992 and about 1997 or 8, music, at least in the US, had become so segregated that I'll just say it, their white fan base, which is the majority, had all gone over to grunge. You know, and there was even an MTV clip that talked about how this former blockhead, was saying she was ashamed, you know, or she wasn't ashamed, but she just wasn't really messing with New Kids like that in 94. They focused on the 94 album. So the album came out at the wrong time. Had they dropped that album 97, 98, when like Backstreet and all of them had kind of brought, you know, pop and R&B light back to the white audiences, they would have done much better. But by that point, you were either, and Madonna had to do it. Madonna went black. Prince and Michael stayed kind of neutral, and I don't think those albums blew up as big as I'm talking too much already. I said I wasn't going to do it, and I'm doing it. But no, they were a victim. They were a victim of the cultural aspects of music, and they went black. They went New Jack Swing, but again, their fan base was white girls, and they weren't checking for that. So, I love that intro, Joseph Taylor. Okay. I love No Way Bullshit. I mean, even the sample from Third Base, you know, come on, step to him again. There's that intro. Spoiler alert, I'll just say the intro will get some love from me on this podcast. Thank you, man. That intro is everything. All right, I'm done.
yeah. No, it's interesting that you've said that, because you know, I knew them as the guys who came off the back of New Edition and sold more records. That's how I kind of got introduced to them. I think, and I was in the States when they came out with this album, and I probably wouldn't have changed the name. I probably would have done New Kids instead of, you know, I would have shortened it to New Kids so that there's still a continuity. But calling yourself NKO, I think it's almost like that's too much of a tongue twister, and it's too much of an explanation. So if you have called yourself New Kids, you know, people would have just been like, okay, they're coming out with a different image, but it's still the same people. Because 2008, they go back to the original name. So it says it's something about trying to run away from where you were. But I think the thing is that this album, when it came out at a time, it came out at a time, 94, when R&B was, you know, we had Mary and TLC, we had the pinnacle of R&B from black artists, and you know, we weren't going to be, and this type of music, I think it was 91, 92. If it come out even earlier,
Yes,
it would have captured that. When R. Kelly and Public Announcement came out, it would have been like, okay, this is cool. But at 94, I think it was wrong time, as you said. But as I said, as somebody who only just listened to the album after Stevie kept persistently telling me to listen to it, I was very impressed by the vocals, and I think after a while I was thinking, like, I didn't feel as if they stole R&B and they were just like, you know, I didn't feel as if they were just wanted to sing black music. I felt that this actually, it felt like part of them. You know, the falsetto. Who's the guy that sings all the falsettos?
Jordan. I just really quick. I saw a clip on YouTube, Facebook, of them performing in Brooklyn, of all places. It was "Please Don't Go Girl," and what was cool was, again, because Maurice Starr, you know, he's black, obviously, and black promo, black radio. They were originally promoted as an R&B act. So when you see that Brooklyn set, the whole crowd is basically black. And when you hear Jordan, you mentioned the falsetto, even though it's lip synced, Jordan does a little falsetto run over it. So I just wanted to double tap on that. Like, I think part of the reason why they've lasted so long is because they aren't like pretenders are trying to be something they're not. They're from Dorchester. Boston was a very segregated city. Roxbury was black. Dorchester was Irish and Italian or whatever. But they're basically right next to each other. And the talent show that Maurice Starr did was right, I think, in between that, or I think it was in Dorchester. Again, I'm talking too much already, but I just wanted to say,
you're not
yeah, you're right. Like it is who they are. Particularly, I would say like a Donnie, or again, Jordan, the falsetto guy. Yeah, go back, man. I just wanted to like just call out that video and the fact that they were promoted as black artists. They were on Apollo, for crying out loud, in 88, 89, 88. It was 88.
How were they received in the UK?
They've always had a fan base in the UK, and they've come over here and toured. They've always come over here and toured. Unlike New Edition, but maybe Sony put up some budget for them to come and do a European tour. I don't know, but they have got a fan base here.
Okay. As I said, I was definitely impressed. So, unlike New Edition, who's the main? Who's the leader of New Kids on the Block? I mean, is there, or are they? Were they all equal? Like,
I would say Donnie is the Michael Bivins, as in he's the spokesperson. He's like kind of the glue. He's the mastermind. So yeah, he's the mastermind. I would say Jordan is like the lead singer, so he's probably the Ralph Tresvant. Joe McIntyre is probably the Ricky Bell, so he's the one who did "Please Don't Go Girl" and then blah blah blah. And then you've got Danny and Johnny as Danny and John as Ron, and who am I forgetting from New Edition? Anyway, but they don't really do much, but they round out the group. Danny, I'm gonna give you love. Danny will always be able to say, "I dated Halle Berry back in 1991." That's props. We can take that away from you, Danny. That's what's up. John dated Tiffany, but then eventually was outed as gay, just being real. But he's doing well with, I think, a home improvement show. But I would say, to answer your question, I would say the leader it's Donnie, and that's Mark's older brother.
Okay.
Mark Wahlberg.
Okay. Yeah, we want to shout out.
Who's the short guy with the voice? Because he's got a great voice. The short guy with the brown hair. Forgot his name.
Probably Jordan. But I mean, I don't think he's short though.
No, the one who Jordan. Then there's the little short guy.
Joe.
That's what a voice he's got.
Yeah, Joe.
Shout out to all our friends, Colin, DJ Socha, Last Exit to Brooklyn, Derek, everyone is joining in. As I said, Joseph Taylor and stuff. KKR 26 to 1, first time catching us. Thank you for joining us and stuff. But anyway, okay, and Diane G, welcome as well. All right, so did you guys all appreciate the album once you got it, despite the name change and stuff? VJ said not really.
I did. I didn't mind it. I liked it. I mean, I used to buy anything that had Teddy Riley's name on it back then.
Okay.
If it had Teddy's name on it, I was getting it. So I listened to that. Obviously, you've got names like Narada Michael Walden on there, Walter Afanasieff, which is brilliant. Also, big fan of Wolf and Epic, and Richard Wolf's on there. The name of producers, it warrants purchasing this album regardless of the artist. And it was better than I expected it to be, and I was pleasantly surprised at the time. But I don't think I listened to it as much as I should have. Listening to it now, I listened to it in the last couple of weeks, and I understand why Stevie has been on our case for a long, long time to do this album, and he's not wrong. Stevie's seldom wrong when it comes to music, but he definitely wasn't wrong for this one. It's so good. Mm-hmm. Like, there's one song, I can't believe how good it is. I just, yeah.
The great thing is, other tracks over time will just get you, but I just remember at the time I was playing, there was 6 tracks that I just played back to back over and over again. Mm. And over the years, there's other ballads on the album that Narada did and mid-tempos that they've really, come to the fore for me. But like I say, so it's a strong album. It really is. And I did think they got the single choices a bit wrong. There's a couple of like ballads on here that should have been the singles that would have appealed straight away to their fan base and would have been a lot bigger. But they were going in, like you say, they were going in the direction we wanted him to go in, and unfortunately, it just didn't work for him. You know.
Yeah. Why do you? So I mean, and I guess that's interesting to understand why this album. As I said, I remember when they came out with this album, I didn't appreciate the name change. I just thought it was. I just. I think when you run away from who you really are, I think that's always a challenge. I think you just stay what you are and let people come to the music. But I think when you change your name, then you're changing your music. I think you're now looking for a new set of fans who are like, what's your legacy? What are we? What are we? What are we? What's your legacy
You know,
here?
controversially, dare I even say this, but yeah, I don't know. Was there a bit of culture vulturing going on here because they jumped on a black music sound? They changed their image, like the way I'm dressed now. At the time, it was a very black urban sound. They used that sound. They used the image and everything, and then they moved away from it. They didn't used to do that before. It was all like ripped jeans, but t-shirts. Was there a bit of culture vulturing to to try and have a hit? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's I'm playing devil's advocate there. What
Yeah.
what do people who are watching this going on? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Andrew. I mean, were you in Canada when this came out?
No, I was in Cali because it was 94, and I left Canada like August of 91.
Okay.
So funny enough, If You Go Away was a single in the fall of 91. So it was, and to me in my head canon, believe it or not, that was kind of like their swan song. That was like for the original run of the New Kids on the Block. If You Go Away was like literally like ironically, we are going away. This is the end. And so the album, which came out like 3 years later, pretty much, or 2 years later, that had If You Go Away on there, but it was an extended version of If You Go Away. So I think that the evolution was beginning, but so much changed between 91 and 93. And as we know, gangster rap had blown up. So when you look at even factions of like Troop, for example, Troop was dressing more like what you're talking about, Stevie, with the backwards hat and the combat boots, because it was all Jodeci'd out. And I think that the New Kids were basically dressing like hip hop. They went hip hop soul as far as their image, and of course having, basically Blackstreet basically do some of the songs for them. I think it was a natural thing. I just think, no, had they been completely like rock and then went to that, to me, that would have been a play. But I think it was them being a bit more of who, it was an evolution. They were on the same train as all the other, I think, R&B acts. They just happened to be Vanilla Boys that Maurice Starr went and got on purpose, because in a lot of ways he's like, you know what? If you're going to take away my group, I'm going to pull an Elvis. I'm going to pull a Pat Boone. I know that because they are white, they're going to have a bigger fan base just because of the way demographics work. So I'm going to make 10 times more money with these white guys doing my songs than black guys. It is what it is. I make the rules, but that's just the way the economics works.
Yeah.
You know the ballads though. When I listen to the ballads, it sounds to me like the biggest influence. The style, I can hear the stylistics. The way
absolutely.
the vocals.
1000%.
That is exactly where my brain gravitated to. When you're hearing Jordan on some of these songs, this boy is so underrated, and I think he needs more recognition than he gets. And I thought stylistics. I couldn't get Brand New out of my head for some reason. That was the song.
Yeah.
Particularly that song. It was just Jordan, the stylistics, Brand New. That was going on in my head a lot. And yeah, interesting that you mentioned that.
Yeah. Okay. Let us go through and start off with this, and as I say, we can then be able to appreciate and dissect some of the songs. So there's the intro, including the intro, 14 tracks on there. But we are, for those who are joining us, we are going to count it down our top 10, and then of course we can do our honorable mentions at the end. So we start at number 10, work our way up to number 1, and Oh goodness, did I put it here? Number 10 for me is a song that reminded me of um, R. Kelly's "Summer Bunnies," and I don't know if anyone could probably pick out what song that could be that has the vibe of "Summer Bunnies."
Is it Girls?
No,
Oh.
Okay.
Mrs. Right.
Ah.
It's Mrs. Right. Yeah, it's who produced that?
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just that kind of it was just that kind of laid back kind of summer vibe,
Yes.
cruising as they're singing kind of stuff. Even Blackstreet's Good Life, but it had that laid back kind of stuff, which
Yes.
so I definitely appreciated the song, and
All I want to do is swing with you. Swing with
yeah,
you.
Just
And
swing.
you got that number 10. Number 10, Andy. What's going on?
hey, hey,
All I want to do is like swing with you.
yeah,
Swing
yeah,
with you.
yep. Well, it made actually, well, it made my top 10, but yeah, I mean, as I said, I'm listening to it today and appreciating it right now, and so I mean, it moved around a lot, and I only just finalized it about 40 minutes ago.
No, no.
Can I say something real quick? They absolutely, that should have been a single.
Yeah.
That was totally 94.
Yeah.
That was a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I mean, that one and Keep On Smiling to Me. Those were the kinds of not too hard kind of poppy R&B that could have been a lot more radio friendly, that their audience would be like, oh, this is cool. I think when you go with Dirty Dog, you're going like, okay, we're going hard. As much as we love the song, it's not going to be a good lead single to get on Kiss and Capitol. Yeah. So anyway, I digress. Mrs. Right at number 10.
Ooh.
Pete.
So Joseph Taylor, I am looking forward to talk. We might have to wait until it pops up in a conversation, but that intro, man, thank you so much, dude. Thank you. You don't understand. It's yeah. Anyway, we'll get to that when we get to that. So
We will.
Yeah.
We will.
I'm certain it. Well, based on what Andrew's reaction, it's definitely he's gonna definitely be talking about it. My number 10 will maybe surprise some of you. It's produced by Teddy Riley, arranged by Leon Sylvers, and Leon Sylvers was the coup for Teddy Riley, I think, at that time. The fact that he got Leon Sylvers in his camp, I understand a lot of money was exchanged to get Leon Sylvers on board, and that boy was totally worth it. Killer producer. This song is co-written by Markel Riley, Chauncey, Antoine Dickey, I believe, aka the Pirate, and Teddy. I'm talking about You Got the Flavor. This is my number 10. And as good as this song is, and don't get me wrong, I mean, I don't think there's a bad song on this album. Andrew may have some different thoughts on one particular song, but we'll get to that too. I think this is a fantastic song. It sounds like an offcut off a Blackstreet album. At the time, I felt that this it felt a little bit contrived, but listening to it now, I really like it. And out of the 3 Teddy and Leon Sylvers tracks, I listened to this the least, but it's very good. And I wish I'd listened to it more at the time because it's solid. I've got no complaints about it in 2026. But we had so much music coming our way in 93, 94, 95 that, yeah, I didn't listen to it so much. But You Got the Flavor is my number 10.
Wow. Surprised by both your number 10s. Very surprised.
Agreed. Agreed.
I had a torturous time trying to figure out my 10, 9, and 8. Tracks were dropping in, dropping out, changing round. I have changed it again since I've sent my master list to VJ, but I had to find a place for the intro, that 2-minute 15 intro. And I thought, what better place than to start it off at number 10? It kind of signaled the direction of the album, if you're wondering what was going on. And I think it kind of summed it up in that intro. Great, like East Coast break, drum beat, and then what they were saying over the top of it. So yeah, intro, face the music. the intro is at my number 10. Thank you, please.
Nice.
Okay.
And seeing as you mentioned it, it doesn't make my top 10. I just wanted to say that because I just wanted to share something about some of the samples on that, if that's okay.
Please.
It has 5 samples on the intro. You had Mountain Long Red from 72, Grand Puba's 360 What Goes Around from 1992, Lou Donaldson's Ode to Billy Joe from 1967, Gangstar featuring Nice and Smooth from 1992, one of my favorite tracks ever. And it also samples Gangsters Take It Personal from 92. So I just wanted to share that. That's it. But I'm glad it's in your list, Stevie. Brilliant.
BJ, I want to add one more actually. So again, when he goes Ayo Don, step to him again, that samples the Gas Face from Third Base because he's talking about Don Newkirk. So I just love how they had Don Newkirk, but they were plotted to Wahlberg. And it was a white guy search. So there was a certain level of authenticity there. Like, we're going to take hip hop, but it was a white guy. Ayo Don, step to him again. You know, I love
Third Base too.
Okay. All right. Andrew.
So this one might surprise people, but I always felt like on this track, Jordan was trying to sound a little bit like H-Town doing Dawg. I can't do it. Oh, you're so dirty, like Dawg. Anyway, I can't do it. But Dirty Dawg's number 10. And I think what it taught the whole pop universe was you can be non-soft and still love the ladies, right? I feel like a lot of times people were making diss tracks or trying to be misogynistic because somehow that was going to make you more real. That's the only song that New Kids has ever done that they released as a single that was actually dissing girls. And yeah, it didn't work out, dude, right? I remember even like with oh God. Anyways, I'll just say with a producer and a legendary rapper named Notorious B.I.G., you know where I'm going with this. But he basically said, you got to make raps for the ladies because that's what really is commercially successful. So Big Papa and all that was like for the ladies. So, and by 94, people had figured it out. But by 93, 92, you had a lot of like diss tracks to women, and that didn't fly.
Unless you're
10,
Snoop and you're singing...
if you're a gangster rap, it's one thing, but if you're an R&B guy, like, what are you doing? You're having an identity crisis. Stop it. You know? So at number 10 is Dirty Dawg. It was a good groove, but lyrically, it didn't work. And apparently, as read Much Music, which is Canada's MTV, actually banned the video. That's terrible. Like that, for your first single to be like banned, like not good, not a good look.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I mentioned that there were other songs on this album that could have been a lot easier segue to introduce them back in. But anyway, okay. We're firing up. I like the fact that we all have... now, number 9 for me is the song that I think should have been their debut album, their debut single. Even though I put it at number 9, but it's most of the songs from number 4 down to number 10 were pretty much a point separating them. So it wasn't much. But Keep On Smiling, I thought that should have been their debut single. I love the vibe. I love how they sang. I love the arrangement. And I think that would have saddled their pop market and given them a nice little radio-friendly type of song, especially if they came out in the summer with this kind of stuff and then moved into Mrs. Right and really give it this like summer anthem kind of album. But yeah, that was Narada Michael Walden with the production on that, and yes, so that's number 9 for me. But it should have been their debut single.
Fair enough. Before I say my number 9, just wanted to talk about what DJ Soulchild and Joseph Taylor, the producer of the intro, are talking about. They mentioned Marky Mark's "You Gotta Believe," and I just Joseph, you said that you were involved in 5 tracks on that album as well. I just want to say I couldn't tell anybody at the time because I was a snob. I wasn't allowed to like certain things. But You Gotta Believe was my song, man. I listened to that a lot. First time, it's taken me 34 years to admit it. I have the 12-inch. I've got the 7-inch.
The song?
I love You Gotta Believe, man.
Okay, two things. Number one, I remember that came out this fall of '92, I want to say. And the funny thing is, my Cal High football team, apparently the coach picked that song, You Gotta Believe, because it's kind of like, gotta believe, and it was a definite workout song. Like, get him up, hit you for the blow to the back of the head, you won't get up. And then even like in the video, you go, yo, Donnie D, and it's like Donnie, Jordan, and Joe just like chilling on the car, right? Like, so anyway, it was a good song. So it's all good. I'm with you on that. It was a good song.
Yeah. And I think you also understand why I had to be undercover liking that song. Because remember, the artist it wasn't Marky Mark, just Marky Mark. It was Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I wasn't going to tell my friends at school or wherever I was at the time, yeah, man, have you checked out that track? Undercover, I loved it. Anyway.
I kind of put Marky Mark in the same. I put him in that circle with Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer, the rap stuff that was like just a bit poppy and cheesy,
Sure. But yeah, I
do need to dig that album out. I've got the CD somewhere. I've not listened to it for years, but I bet there'll be some fun tracks on that now.
Yeah, definitely. And I think DJ Soulchild's saying that there's a swing track on there called "I Want You." I don't have the album, but I knew that single.
I'll have to dig it out, man.
My number 9 is a Narada Michael Walden track. All I will say about this track, it's I Can't Believe It's Over. I think it's fantastic. I think the production has so many layers to it. And Narada Michael Walden is the man. He's tapping into that Puff Johnson vibe that he had with some of the other stuff there that he was producing around 93, 94, 95, that era. So this is brilliant. I Can't Believe It's Over. That's my number 9.
Wow. Yeah, well, I was toying with some of them tracks near the end of the album, some of them ballady type tracks. That didn't make it for me, but it's still a good track. It is a good track. What did I think this track I've got number 9. I originally had it at number 8. I put it back to number 9, but again, I think this would have fitted on their albums before. It's a ballad. This is a quintessential New Kids on the Block. It's got the stylistic type of vibe to it. I'll Still Be Loving You. They're very New Kids, very New Kids. Again, I didn't listen to it at all at the time, but I appreciate it a lot more now. It's kind of stood the test of time, that one.
Yeah, man.
I'm with
It
you.
wouldn't surprise me if Knight's got it very high in his chart.
Was that not a Still Be Loving You?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you did that, Stevie. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, my number 9 is another one that had the album had a more successful run. It would have been a video like single like a candidate, but it's not one of my favorites, but it was pretty good. It's called Let's Play House. I liked the LL Cool J to All the Cuties sample in there. It was just it was very I liked it. It was a solid track. Yeah. That's it. That's all I got. I kind of want to sing it, but I'm gonna save my voice for other songs. But it was good. It was a good song.
Well, I had that at number 8, and I put down here. There was a little keyboard solo. I was like, hey, do a little Devante Swing, little keyboard solo. But I said that this is. If I didn't see the album cover, I would have said this was a proper R&B kind of the vibe, the way they sang the chorus and everything. And, this was, touching on Uptown Records type of tracks that they would put out probably around 92. By 94, it's moved on slightly. But that's what I thought about it. It was, as I said, I listened to this and I thought, actually, these guys weren't faking it. I think this was the track I thought, like, these guys weren't faking it. Like, you can't get away with just trying to do R&B. I think Backstreet Boys tried it, but but the way they were singing this, I thought they actually knew what they were doing. So yeah, I had it at number 8. Um, as I said, the difference between 8 and 5 were very minuscule as well.
I'm stunned you both got that quite high up. Very stunned.
Quite, yeah. No, it's as I said. This is as if for me, I had a different respect for the guys listening to this album, but also listening to some of these songs as well. I don't know who Tom Soros is, who did the production with Donny, and Jordan co-produced it, but it was definitely a nice track. Go ahead, Reed.
My number 8 is a Walter Afanasieff track, "Since You Walked Into My Life," and this is so good. I think this is it's fantastic, and it has all the ingredients of a Walter Afanasieff track. I can imagine, I don't know, Mariah singing this, maybe. It's got that kind of vibe, It's a typical Walter track, and yeah, this is a contender for a single, man. Since You Walked, definitely, man. This could have been a single, no doubt about it. Brilliant song, but something's got to go at number 8, and yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's legit.
But it's a great song, isn't it? Like that instrumentation's crazy.
I'm holding back, man. I gotta save my comments for when I bring it up.
Yeah, sure. Those sounds, man, brilliant.
Number 8 for me. This is the discovery on the album for me, because again, I did not play this track at all back then, and I'm kicking myself because it just, again, it sounds great now, and I'm going to be playing it a lot more. But it's the Narada Michael Walden produced "Keep On Smiling," and I bumped it up. It was at number 9. I bumped it up to number 8. I thought this is really strong, Great track, good mid-tempo, like soulful R&B track.
Yeah, and I just wanted to comment on what Jake Green has said there. The thing is, like, there were a lot of artists that came out back then, and they had like heavy hitter producers on there. So if you got a New Kids on the Block and they've got production by Teddy Riley, why on earth would we not talk about it? If a Narada Michael Walden's on there, why would we not talk about it? Now, if you look at Narada Michael Walden's history from the 70s onwards, I mean, that boy's a legend. I can talk about Narada Michael Walden all day long. Walter Afanasieff, he's worked with everybody. Why would we not talk about these guys? And Wolf and Epic, are you kidding, son? They're the people that did all that stuff with BBD. Amazing producers. So from my mind, my perspective, I like talking about the producer's perspective. That's the angle I come from mostly. The artist is secondary in my head, at least. But in response to what you're saying, we'll do the Spice Girls and all other things. It's possible. The Spice Girls work with Rodney Jerkins, and if there's a good track there, why would we not talk about it? And we're trying to move away from being judgmental. And the whole purpose of this podcast is we're talking about New Kids. When at the beginning of this, if you heard at the beginning, Jake, I said I was embarrassed, but I've grown up. I'm a grown man now. I can like and listen to whatever the hell I like. And if we want to do a podcast about New Kids on the Block, we're going to do it. But remember what I've said there. Look at the producer list. Look at the writers on here. Leon Sylvers. You got Markel Riley all over the place. You got Chauncey Black on it. The writers alone. You got Trey Lorenz on this. Now, you cannot tell me for 1 second that this album does not warrant a podcast. So, politely, I disagree with what you say. I just wanted to say that. Sorry, Andrew, you were about to say something.
Nah, dude, you spoke your truth.
Ooh, you went in there, VJ. But blame me, because I've been pushing for this podcast for a while now. Blame me if anyone wants to blame.
But the credits, he's commenting. He's not even looking at the credits. The credits are ridiculous on this album. And anyway.
Credits are low. If you push all that away, you got to ask yourself, did New Kids on the Block, did they do a good version of R&B and New Jack? And my opinion is they did. Of course they did. Is this a good New Jack R&B album? Were they jumping on a sound, like I said earlier, playing devil's advocate? Were they culture vulturing? Probably were, yeah. But did they make some good New Jack swing? Definitely yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about culture vulture. I think you if because we would always say that with when NSYNC came out, but Timberlake has been consistent with his passion for soul music. Um, so it's whether you are jumping on a brand of music because you can see it's going to get you, you're going to make money and sell records because the label wants you to do it, or actually this is stuff that you listen to and you love, and it can't be just because country started with as a black form of music, and then it kind of got dominated by another ethnic group, and then
Maybe they always wanted to do this sound, but because they were kids at the time, they were being told what to do, what kind of music to make, and it was very poppy.
Yeah.
So as they've grown up, it was like they probably had a bit more say and said, "Yeah, we want to go down this R&B route a bit more."
But I think the biggest issue was the fact that the album didn't sell. If it sold 5, 6, 7 million, I think history would have had a very different, would have written things different. Madonna did bedtime stories. We all jumped on that. We know what when she did it, when she is it bedtime story. Sorry,
No, it is bedtime stories. You're right.
bedtime stories with
1,000%.
secrets and human nature.
Yeah,
and all
you
that.
could call her a
Another
culture vulture for
podcast we
that.
need to do. We need to do that podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would actually be fun.
Who's next? I'm sorry.
Me, I'm next.
We'll get there. Fine, we'll get there for Andrew.
We'll get there.
All right. So the story for number 8, really quickly, because again, I was actually always rooting for the guys. I have a thing for like underdogs. If you're an underdog, you will get my attention. I was at a music store called Musicland not here, but in California, and I heard a song being played, and it was the Free Willy soundtrack being played in the store, and I'm like, wait a minute, what song was that? And he said, let me check, and he goes, it's called Keep On Smiling by New Kids on the Block. I said, can you play it again? We play it again. We listened to it, and he was also like, wow, is it like, he was just older, like rock critic style white guy, like big, whatever, but he was like, this isn't bad. And I'm like, no, it's not bad at all. Like, through the pleasure and pain, through the sunshine and rain, baby, we keep on smiling. And even that, the keep on smiling, baby, keep smiling. Like, it's like, you're falling for me, but come on. Like, it's all like a cappella. Keep on smiling and then make love to me. And it's kind of like, whoa, that's like a little different, but it's wow. So anyway, at number 8, yes, is Keep On Smiling. So this album has not one, but 2 tracks that were originally on other places, but were fitting with the vibe. So yeah, great breezy summer song, and should have been a single. Last thing I'll say before we pass it on, though, is this album also, as I said earlier, kind of is special in that the New Kids, this is the only album where it's not Donnie, Jordan, and Joe doing all the leads. Because songs like Cover Girl, Hangin' Tough, those are Donnie songs. But Donnie's like, you know what? If I'm going to do R&B, let me respect the art form, because I'm not really a singer like that. Like, so let me just sit back and do the raps and let Joe and Jordan do the singing. So Keep On Smiling was the first time we heard a song where it was just Joe and Jordan. And the rest of the album, Joe and Jordan. So I just wanted to call that out. And I think it takes a certain sense of humility and self-awareness to say, you know what? I want to respect this art form and not like insert myself as an imposter, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You got to be able to sing and do R&B. Just being real.
And Andrew, you got a question there for you from Derek. Maybe you want to just answer that whilst we're...
Yeah. Derek.
Ooh.
Oh, absolutely. 1,000%. But I think they're also talking about 4x4 and all the other groups as well. I do. I think New Edition was dissing everybody who had come up, like, in their wake. But obviously, Annie and New Kids are gravy now. I think the difficulty, though, is their fan bases are so different. I don't see them mixing at a show. I don't. And I'll go as far as controversially to say it's the New Kids fan base I'm more worried about than the New Edition fan base. I think they're kind of. I've been to a show at Fenway, and I was looking around me, and I'm like, these are the people Wow, I'm getting in trouble. But anyway, these are the people like when there was like race riots in the late '80s and stuff. That's what you're dealing with here. So to me, it's like it's no fault of anybody. It's just sociology, the way it worked, but it was different fan bases.
Okay. I'll get to number 7. And as I said, keep on smiling. I did think it was the type of song they should have used as their debut coming out as well. But number 7 for me is I was listening to the song and it was higher up a little bit, then I kind of kept falling back down because it was there's something that Jackie McGee taught us when we did the Barbie album, and she called the song album filler. It felt like, so when I listened to it, it felt like, yeah, we've done a nice track, but you're never going to put this out as a single, and it's just there, and it's girls. I like the production, but it was just it never really went up. It just was just there. It's almost as if Blackstreet recorded it and like, nah, it's not really good. Let's just give it out.
There's something missing in it, isn't there?
Yeah.
When you listen, there's just something missing.
Yeah. It just didn't. It just felt like safe and just like just on that plane, and I just felt like, okay, yeah, I like the. In fact, what did it remind me of? It almost reminded me of I'm a 90s Girl, but without the remix. It just felt just on a safe level. So yeah, that's at number 7, Girls. It's Teddy's production with Leon Silvers and loads of writers, but and maybe those are the people that sampled the tracks and stuff. But yeah, Girls are number 7.
Yeah. Andrew, before I say my number 7, what was me, you, and Monica? We saw a show, New Kids on the Block.
Yep.
What was that at the Rockefeller Center? What was that? It
was Rockefeller Center. It was for the Today Show. It was in support of the 2008. It was like, I think maybe 1 year after their. I wasn't even 1 year. Anyway, it was in support of the fact that the Block had done well, and it was the Today Show, which is the morning show. Yeah.
Yeah, and do you remember the night before I said, you two go, I'm away, and then you both said, don't be an idiot. It's a free mini concert, and I'm so glad I came because going back to how I felt about New Kids on the Block, my mindset was my mindset, but I'm glad I went because changed completely. But anyway, number 7, another Narada Michael Walden track. Andrew, you mentioned it already. Great production. Keep on Smiling. I'm talking about great production. This is a Narada masterclass, and I love the hook on this track. The vocals work tremendously well. It's got that Puff Johnson vibe that he worked with Puff Johnson a couple of years later. But this is, I think, the beginning of that sound for Narada Michael Walden, and what he did on Never Love Nobody by Puff Johnson. If any of you know that song, you need to check that out. But this kind of feels like it's going towards that. Fantastic. That's my number 7.
Solid.
Yes.
Lots of pushback on Girls. Quite a few people thought it was a much better track than I seem to have appreciated it. But I don't know. But anyway, Stevie.
First of the 3 Teddy tracks for me at number 7. Controversial again. I actually felt that the other swing tracks on this album that weren't produced by Teddy, I felt they beat him at Teddy's game here. But as we go on in the chart, that will be revealed. But you got that flavour after the intro. I get what you said earlier is use the word contrived, VJ. I kind of agree with you because he's got the lately bass in.
Yeah.
I thought for 93, 94, this sound was like maybe a couple of years past. But I do like this track. I like the energy of it. I like the hypeness of it. I bet there would have been some good remixes if they'd have put it out as a single. I think actually there's a Spanish promo CD single with just this track on. Have you got that? It's an edit. Have you got that flavour? I'd love to look on Discogs. So maybe, I don't know, maybe in Spain they wanted to put it out, but it's just a fun new Jack track. Just after It works well after the intro as well. Works very well the way it's sequenced. On another day, it could have been in the top 5, but I don't know. It's landed at, I don't know. Should I have put it before Girls? I don't know. Anyway, it's at number 7.
So,
number 7.
Stevie, what do you think with this song, right? What do you think could have elevated You Got the Flavor? You got 3 Teddy Riley tracks. You mentioned You Got the Flavor. This is your first inclusion in your top 10.
If you take them 3 Teddy Riley tracks, right, you've got Leon Sylvers on board. Some of them lyrics, you've heard them in other tracks before. We've all heard, you know, if loving you is right, I don't want to be wrong. Girls, that's the Waltnuts track, innit, from the 70s. Girls,
yeah.
I like the head. They're all a bit, like you say, as you would say, contrived from other tracks. You know, I'm thinking, were they rushed? I don't know.
Yeah.
Were a couple of them rushed? Girls certainly looks tight. Girls to me sounds rushed. Like it's not. There's something missing there. You could have added something to it.
But I would say that you will not find a black R&B group singing "You've Got the Flavor." I think if you had a different, like you got the vibe, or you've got the look.
I don't know. H-Town did a track called "Fever for the Flavor" Namdi on the first album. I got the fever for the flavor.
Yeah, but you've got the flavor. You know, you've got that vibe. So it was almost like, we want to do an imitation, because I got that sense of,
like I say, like VJ said, it was contrived, probably from other R&B groups.
You've got the flavor, and then I think what's those guys? Craig David did something about what's your flavor. I think that's those. But anyway, when I get to it, I'll give you my review.
Listen, I do like the track though, and I play it a lot to this day. I don't, but it's just at number 7.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So my number 7, shout out to Jarrell Mason, Jay Mace, because me and him agreed on this immediately decades ago or years ago, whatever. And also shout out to these, because I know that you just recorded a podcast with Jay Mace for Beyond the Album Cover. So I just want to cross-pollinate that really quick.
Oh, we'll have to see that. We'll have to watch that soon then when it comes out.
But this song was the first song performed on Arsenio when they appeared. And going back to Jay Mace, I was like, if I was Coca-Cola, I absolutely would have beat down the doors to have used this in a commercial. And I hear Teddy on that chorus. As soon as the album starts and I hear, I don't really mean to lead you on. That's Teddy all day on that.
Yeah.
All I wanna do is take you home. You've got that flavor. Boom, 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 boom. Coca-Cola. Baby, you got the flavor. And all of a sudden you got the commercial. You got like the logo. You got like, it is a Coke commercial. It is a Coke commercial. You got the flavor? Come on. Anyway, so I love that both of us have it at number 7. I think we also had at number 8 the same as well. But it's a zany song. It's very New Jack Swing, I think, but like actually, in my opinion, like post New Jack Swing. It's that '93 era for me because it's a faster tempo. But they really tried to push that. And then Donnie's like doing the rap thing or whatever. But yeah, it's at number 7. Solid song. I wouldn't turn it off. But I wouldn't necessarily pick the record for that song either.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, almost halfway there. Number 6 for me. Number 6 and 5, I struggled to see which of them. And these are ballad. It's a ballad, and because they're beautiful tracks. And as I said, the falsetto and the singing, I was like, okay, this is you can't act. Anyone that says these guys were just trying to, get the money, the level of commitment to sing the falsetto and sing in this it says that you really knew what you're doing, and I got, let me see, I got Bobby DeVarge kind of vibes with this. I know not L like Bobby because he was just singing it, and I Can't Believe It's Over.
Wow.
I was like, wow, I was really, really impressed. And I think also, yeah, no, it wasn't. Yeah, the number five is the one that I thought was another producer, but I really was this on their previous album.
Which one?
I can't believe it's over. Oh, you said it was
No.
a. If you go away, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, if you go away, yeah. So I can't believe it's over. Nada really took them on. Really did some serious production on this beautiful track, and to keep him on in the falsetto like that.
I felt like the vibe of the I Can't Believe It's Over kind of reminded me of like How Can I Ease the Pain by Lisa Fisher.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
also a Narada Michael song. So
Ah,
yeah, I saw echoes between the two. And that
yeah,
was
yeah.
actually for me what hurt me. I'm like, this is too much like Lisa Fisher. But I like the song, but it was just too close for my ears.
Okay.
Number 6.
Yes.
So this is not on streaming, but this is on multiple versions of this album, and it's an a cappella. It's like a kind of a cappella dub version of Dirty Dog. It's called Dogapella. If that's around, if that's allowed, sorry, on this podcast, I'll include that. Otherwise, it's the original version of Dirty Dog. I've gone with the Dogapella because I think I like the sparsity of it. I think it really works. I like this better. Obviously, on Dirty Dog, you had 4 samples: Gangstar featuring Nice and Smooth, Dwick, James Brown, Papa Don't Take No Mess from '74, which was obviously used in Janet Jackson, which is the theme of the song. George Clinton's Atomic Dog from '82, and Joe Tex Papa Was. The beats are brilliant on the original Dirty Dog, but I preferred this one. I thought it was a good single, and I understand why they wanted to go with it, because it was quite an exciting prospect. The idea of new kids trying to morph into a butterfly, for want of a better expression. They were trying to break away from, shed some old skin and break away from what they were doing before, and work with a reputable hip-hop act in Nice and Smooth. I thought that was an exciting idea. Did it come across as the way we wanted it to? Maybe, maybe not. Nice and Smooth sounded fantastic on it, I thought, on the remix. And obviously, you got the Greg Nice theme coming through. That's my number 6, Dogapella.
Yeah, it was a bonus track at the end of the album, wasn't it, on the Japan and European editions of the album.
Yeah, I really like that. But Dirty Dog's a good song. I mean, I don't know if it was it was a first single kind of thing, but I understand what they were trying to do. And as you said, Stevie, they were trying to hide the fact that there were new kids on the block. I don't remember it quite that way, but that would make sense. Like how Babyface didn't want people to know that it was Babyface when he did There She Goes. The record came out with just a question mark. It said LaFace Records, ? There She Goes. So you had no clue who it was. And they've done that many times. They did that. There was a song that used to play on Choice FM, and it was a New Jack Swing track, I think, by Cliff Richard. And they didn't admit that it was Cliff Richard. And then everybody was playing it. All radio stations started picking up. The moment they found out it was Cliff Richard, they dropped it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wow.
I remember getting the record mailed in the post as well. Like, what's this? They didn't want to tell us who it was. I'll tell you it was labelled The Black Knight.
Yeah, but that's
Black
it.
Knight. Full cream mix.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you're trying to tap into a market that you are not known for. And that links into exactly what you were saying there, Jake, earlier. They're trying to do something that they're not known for, but that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be allowed to try if they want to, if that's their interest and they're trying to break into that. Like you could talk about Michael Jackson's You Rock My World. Did that sound really suit Michael Jackson? Is that what he was known for? Could you really dance to Michael Jackson, You Rock My World in 2001 in a club? Did that feel natural to you? Or did it feel like he was trying to fit in a little bit? I'm just saying, everybody tries to move with the times and whatever the rhythm of the world is at the time. But anyway, that was my number 6.
Nice.
Number 6 for me is the second of one of the Teddy Riley tracks of the 3. I do listen to this a lot. In fact, I've I have listened to this album a lot over the last couple of years, to be quite honest. I still keep going back to this album. Didn't make my top 5, maybe because of what I said earlier to Nandi. I just feel that, that beat is heavy. The beat's heavy, but there's just something missing. They could have, something needs adding to it. But Girls, don't get me wrong, I do like the track. It's a fun track, fun summer type track. But it didn't quite make my top 5. But I do like it. Don't get me wrong, I do like the track.
Nice. All right.
And it suits. I like Jordan's vocal on it as well. You know what I mean? I do like his vocal on it.
Yes.
Does sound like, I say, a Blackstreet kind of... It sounds like a track Blackstreet would have done, and they would have added more to it, but it ended up on New Kids on the Block album.
1,000%. Especially the first album, like Blackstreet '94 album, 1,000%. Like trying to think of the Make You Wet, something like that or something like. But anyway, Make You Wet. So number 6 for me reminded me a little bit, that opening like keyboard that opens the song sounds a lot like Teddy Bear by Gee Whiz. It's the same kind of sound. It's solidly 93, 94, breezy, beach. And all of a sudden you got All I Want to Do Is Like Swing With You, Just Swing With You, Just Swing. So Mrs. Right, Hard to Get. This is a girl playing, ooh, call me Mrs. Right. Anyway, it's a great song. Mrs. Right was absolutely, should have been a single. Girl, you are so fine, so fine. Like, that's the one, man. So number 6, that's it. That's all I got. But it should have been a single. It totally fit 94. Literally. And back then, like, music is not this way now. I think music is a bit more timeless now. But back before, like, I'd say 2000, you knew if a song sounded like 86 or 89 or 82. Like, it was literally that specific. And 94 had a certain sound, and it was a slower tempo and a certain production style. Maybe it was the keyboards, but yeah, this is right, number 6.
Okay. So we're halfway through, guys. My number 5 was a song that I looked at the credits and said, oh, I thought Jim and Terry did this production, because it reminded me of a song that their Boston neighbors would normally sing. I wonder if Andrew can pick out which ballad on the album is a New Edition type Jimmy Terry track.
Oof.
No, I'm actually gonna abstain. I don't want to.
Yeah. If You Go Away, it felt like, of course, I don't know. I could hear Jordan, but the other guy is more like Ricky, because no one can be Johnny Gill. But the back and forth, the way it starts off, it's very Jimmy and Terry, how they just start off with the piano and then they go into their various parts there. But I was really impressed by it, and as I said, I was battling between that and I Can't Believe It's Over, as in which one is higher up. And but If You Go Away, as I said, really, I like my ballads, and I really appreciated that one.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
What's that point that we're making? I think you're talking about the Cliff Richard song from Janet Jackson's first album. And Derek, you mentioned a Glenn Medeiros song produced by Bobby and Ralph. I didn't know that Val Young was on backing. I need to revisit the Glenn Medeiros album if that's the case. I'm a big Val Young fan, and I didn't know that. So
I didn't know that album, so I'm gonna check it out.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
My number 5 is produced by Richard Wolff. Up tempo, to me, keeping my fingers crossed, sounds like Gangster Part 2. And I know, Marco, you said that Wolff and Epic are NJS imposters. I couldn't care what they are. They sound brilliant to me, man. And I think they've never disappointed. everything they've done, I've liked. I really like the production on this. Keeping my fingers crossed is my number 5.
Wow. Wow.
I wanna
Good
see
to
Mark.
good to have Marco back. We've not seen him for quite a while now. He disagrees with everything we say. But that's why we like him.
No, welcome back, Marco. We
Yeah,
have
that's why
definitely
we
missed you.
like him. You know.
We've definitely missed you.
So you had what at number 5?
Keeping my fingers crossed.
And Nandi, you had If You Go Away.
Yeah.
Damn, you're revealing some big hitters here. Pretty high up, Nandi. Anyway, number 5 for me. More of a memory for me. I got to, at the time when this single dropped, I got to DJ at one and only Soul Weekend in Great Yarm, I think it was. A big shout to Colonel C, who does watch these podcasts. He was DJing. I did a set down there, and I remember buying a few import 12s, taking a few import 12s with me, and that I'd bought around those weeks. One of them was Hammer Pumps and a Bump for the Bump Teddy Bump remix. And the second one was this NKTOB Dirty Dog with a fat remix on it. I remember playing it, and I think after I played Hammer Pumps and a Bump. So, yeah, Dirty Dog, just because of the memory of the first single coming out and that fresh import 12 makes my number 5. I really enjoyed that single. You know, I did the rap on it and, you know, nice and smooth on it. Yeah. Number 5 for me, old Dirty Dog. It's good to hear it again. It's kind of fun and watching the video again. It inspired my look tonight, the old video. You know.
Good.
Very nice.
I have never sung this song in my life, so this could be embarrassing. I'm way too open with you guys, but I just gotta give love for it. So I'll say this first. I might decide not to do it. At number 5 is a ballad, and I actually felt like it could be a good sequel, right? Because even the opening instrumentation harkens back to the song that it was originally following. So one member says, I'm actually going to lower the key. Fuck it. No, I'm not. Till forever's come and gone, till the mountains tumble down, I'll still be loving you, girl, till the stars fall from the sky, till the seas all run dry. Sorry, I'll still be loving you. That was terrible. Anyway, I'll still be loving you. It's the second last song, and I feel like towards the end, Joe's actually doing some pretty cool rips, man. Like he's really like getting into it. The veins probably popping out. So yeah, that was a good song, and I think that it could have been a single, but it's just all him. So yeah, I'll Still Be Loving You is like I'll Be Loving You Forever was the big hit from '89, and I'll Still Be Loving You is like from '94, which back then was like eons ago, right? Or eons apart. But that's number 5. That is the beginning of, in my opinion, the heavy hitters on the album.
Yeah, the beginning of the heavy hitters. Yeah,
In my
yeah, I think it was a mistake to put some of those big tracks, some of those ballads, all at the end and stuff, because you could get album fatigue by then. But where are we at? Number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, number 4 for me. What's this? Okay, number 4 for me is I was actually what I did was listen to the album without looking at the producer credits, so that I didn't get it heavily influenced either way, and just listen to the track. And of course, when I listened to this track, I did think, this reminds me of a track that came out a couple of years earlier, and maybe if the lyrics were changed, I would have appreciated it. It could have been a little bit higher up. But the 2 tracks that just come to mind is Vibe and Here We Go, from Rex and Effects, Here We Go. And that's You've Got the Flavor. Here We Go. Ready or Not. Was that Ready or Not, the remix version of Where Is It? Ready or Not. But as I said, lyrically, I think just the saying You've Got the Flavor doesn't sound like didn't feel like authentic. It's like, you got the flavor. That's just one of those abstract kind of things that and maybe it was like, hey, let's do an R. Kelly. You got the vibe, so you got the flavor. I think if they'd changed it, you've got the style, you've got the look, I don't know. I think that would have been. I think it would have felt a lot more authentic. The second thing is, why do you go to Teddy Riley and not put this out before Dirty Dog?
Yeah.
Because I think it just didn't make sense that he had his 3 tracks and they don't put any of them as a single. So his Teddy's track record of doing remixes, especially what the Blackstreet stuff was going on, they should have bounced on that. But You Got the Flavor is at number 4 for me.
Fair enough. And before I say my number 4, I mean, Jake has got some very interesting thoughts today, and I sometimes if you poke the bear reacts and has something to say. You've just said that a real R&B group like Jodeci wouldn't do this or they wouldn't do that. Now, I'm a big Jodeci fan. Like a lot of people that are listening to this and everybody on this podcast, like all of us 4, know that I'm a big fan of Jodeci. Now, were Jodeci tapping into real R&B when they had the Arthur Baker track Cherish? Is that a real R&B track? Would you say that's a real R&B track? Or were they real R&B when they did the middle of the road, highly successful All of My Life when Casey and JoJo branched off? Or was that middle of the road pop? When Beyonce did a country album, was that something that we expected? You expected? I don't know. All I'm saying is people should be allowed to do whatever they want, Jake. You have your opinions. You hate that New Kids on the Block tried their hand at R&B. You didn't like it. And if you feel so strongly, I don't know why you're listening to this podcast today, man, because I want to talk to you, but it's like you're being irritating now because I don't understand any of your points. They don't make any sense and they don't stack up. And if New Kids on the Block want to do R&B, they should do it. And if you're saying this album's weak, the 2008 album, I think, is exceptional. That track with New Edition, Full Service, amazing. I listen to that all day. And I'll talk about that with passion and vigor, like all proper R&B, as you put it, proper hardcore R&B like Jodeci or whatever. But
I just want to jump in for a second. And also, let's not forget, there was a 1999 album, the self-titled Jordan album, that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis are all over it. So to me, it's like, I don't know, man. I think Jam and Lewis could work with whoever they want. And that album, there's some good stuff on there, man. I just think that, there's being closed-minded and there's being open-minded. And I think that we choose to be open-minded. That's all I got to say there.
But moving on to the music on this album, my number 4, this went up and down. This is a Donnie Wahlberg production, and I did not know that this boy had this in his locker. My number 4 is Mrs. Right, and I feel bad putting it at number 4 only because it's so good, and I think this could have been a single. This really could have been a single. I think I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't listen to this more back in the day, because this is a very good song. It samples Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick's La Di Da Di, and it's a very good use of a single sample. He doesn't go into like multiple samples. It's a single sample used very, very effectively. Incredible melody, really well written. This definitely could have been a single, man. And Mrs. Right's a really good song. That's my number 4.
Okay.
Wow.
Stevie?
Great track. This for me is where they kind of beat Teddy at his own game here. I think they kind of produced this as a group, or maybe could someone correct me with the but I'm going to go with Let's Play House. And Let's Play. Oh my, that is an astonishing swing track. Absolute. I love the way the production glides. It just glides along, and they just absolutely astonishing swing track. That for me. It kind of wipes the floor where you've got that flavour and girls. If I'm really, really, really wipes the floor with it. Incredible track. Let's Play House. Reminds me of Soul Convention. That kind of production as well.
Do you think Let's Play House, if it had a couple of great remixes that it could have done well, I think that would have elevated this track. I think that could have been a single as well. Astonishing track.
Yeah.
My
Definitely.
only objection to Let's Play House is I feel like it's obvious that the background vocals, like they got some help. Like that doesn't sound like just New Kids on the background vocals in that one at all, actually. But everybody else, like the leads are all, it's obviously them. But yeah, it's like, yeah, y'all got some help.
But that's what I said. It sounded like, oh, these guys are real R&B people, because it sounded like intro kind of, that it just felt like,
They're
that's
definitely black. Let's be real.
the background vocals. Yeah,
Yes.
that the background vocals. I'm like, okay, these brothers can sing. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Andrew? What do you have?
Number 4 for me actually is a song that I was surprised more people kind of poo-pooed, but I think it kind of got love in the comments, and that is Girls. Actually, that one should have been a single. Yeah, what would girls be without girls to love? It's not trying too hard, and I think that's the other thing about just life in general. Like when you try too hard, whether it's trying to be this or trying to be that, or even if you're into a girl and like you are trying too hard, you are actually, it's almost like throwing big logs over a spark. Let it breathe. Let the spark burn into a fucking fire. Pardon my French. But, so that's why I felt like they're just more laid back and like not trying to be like, oh yeah, we're like, we're hard and like, we're, it's like, no, we're just singing a nice little R&B song. I can see the combat boots. It definitely sounds like a Black Street from the first album song that just got vanillaed by the New Kids. But to me, it worked. I would never leave love out, because it's all about you, girl. And then even Donnie, I without perfume, I like your natural smell. I just won't say that. They like your front, because if it ain't one way, then the girls is done. Like, it's just like, you can come and chill for a while. Anyway, it's like, it worked, So to me, that was like, yeah, to me, that's their best up tempo on the album. That I would push that one at radio.
Okay. Top 3. Okay, so down to the top 3. Number 3 for me is a song that it was. I mean, my top 3 switched between the week. I drove 2.5 hours Saturday morning to get to Leicester for a wedding, and I had the album on repeat, and so I was kind of like, should I move it right? But it's at number 3. Of course, if I tell you that it reminded me of Word to the Mother, you guys would pick up the track.
Keeping my fingers crossed.
I mean, as soon as I heard, I'm like, wow, this is just like, wow, this was, how did this not get released? I mean, this was and as I said, I didn't know who produced it until today when I just got the credits and like, okay, Wolf and Epic, Spider from who did the BBD stuff, but it's just such a. I mean, this is a very, as Stevie had been telling me for a while, very underrated album, and I just think Sony didn't know how to support them in releasing it, because they're successful in their first couple of albums. They're like, yeah, we just put it out. They're going to scream, but they just didn't read the room and say, look, we need to do this carefully, especially since you're moving away. But this was some serious production. Yes, keep them up. Yeah, definitely. If anyone hasn't heard it, please check it out. And you just be there are some parts of the lyrics that they said pull the trigger, and I was like, if this was a black group, they would have said, and they would have used the N word. They would have just.
Yes.
I was waiting for it. They pulled the trigger. I'm like, okay, yep, I'm waiting for the N word to drop in. But then a little suspect with the lyrics. She had just turned 17 and she was having a baby. I'm like, okay, why with the young girls? Why can't we have a 19 or 20 or 30-year-old girl? But anyway, beautiful track, beautiful production. At number 3.
Very nice, man.
Track.
You know what? More than the fact that you put that wherever you put that, it's the way you explain that. I think you really like that song, dude.
Yeah.
You really like that song. That's nice. It's nice. You know what? You know, Stevie's been on your case, right, forever to listen to this as album. You listen to it, and even if you walked away with one song where you feel like that you didn't never heard before, that's it, man. Yeah, it's great, man. My number 3 is a Walter Afanasieff track. It's If You Go Away, and this isn't good. This is magnificent. This song is great. As a pop ballad, this fits very well into what New Kids had done previously. I mentioned Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston before. This is that kind of song. Walter Afanasieff track, co-written by Trey Lorenz, who obviously worked with Walter quite a lot. And I think as this song goes on, it just gets better and better. And that falsetto too, man, damn. It's a solid song. And I understand why this was this a limited release single? Was it? I don't know. Was it?
It was a radio only single in the fall of '91, and it was like there was a video for it and everything. It's black and white. It's actually very kind of like the video is very mournful. It's very much like, yeah, this shit is done. I'm trying to remember, but like it's like, but it was just a sad video and this sad song, but it's also a real. It's not probably the realest song they ever did up to that point because everything else was just bubblegum. But that was just straight. I messed up. Please don't go away because you're gonna ruin my life. And I think girl could be like, you know what? I don't trust you anymore. Trust is gone. I'm out. But yeah.
Brilliant. I mean, this song though, man, If You Go Away, this is a great song. That's all I got to say. Number 3, If You Go Away. Solid song. I listened to it 3 times today, back to back, and I thought, wow, how good is this?
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes to Marco on Laquan. All right. Derek.
I guess there's one thing I just remembered that, especially when we're talking about groups that culture vultures are selling out. And if anyone had ever watched the interview I did with DJ Soulchild, he had an opportunity to sign with a major record deal, but they wanted them to do pop music like New Kids or Backstreet Boys. And he was like, but that's not me. And he turned down the record deal and the group were devastated. But he was like, I can't do what I'm not. And I think we don't give a lot of these artists credit for, like Pink started off singing R&B and she was like, yeah, this is not really me. Went into where she is and she blew up. And I think there's something about, it's quite easy to think people are just taking music just for the sake of it. But when you hear real people speak about their own experiences, how they turned down an opportunity to blow up because it just wasn't who they were, they couldn't lie and couldn't pretend, then you realize that actually when we do hear people who are singing, like Mariah Carey, she was selling more records when she did Vision of Love, but that wasn't who she was. And when she came out with Honey and all that stuff, that was who she was, and she shined in it. So I think we have to respect some of these artists and stuff. So anyway, go ahead, Steve.
There's a couple of videos that I really watch a lot. One of them's probably because they're set in New York. The Jane Child, Don't Want to Fall in Love. I love the settings of New York because it just makes you want to go there. And there's a scene in this particular video where Jordan Knight sat in a diner. And if we ever meet up in New York again, guys, I don't know if that diner's still there. I don't know where it is, but I want to go to that diner and just sit there and have a coffee. But the song I'm talking about is the final Teddy Riley track. On another day, this would have been number 1 because I just think it's a great little Teddy mid-tempo track. Quite long as well. They did an edit of it on the single. But it's Never Gonna Let You Go or Never Let You Go. If loving you is right, girl, I don't want to be wrong. It's that classic 70s soul line opens the track with. But that's a great track. That is a great track.
Which one?
No. Jordan, Never Let You Go. That mid-tempo. Okay. That is a great
what an Albie Shore-ish vibe too.
yeah. And a great video where he's out in the snow with his big coat on and just
very 94.
That should have been a lot bigger, that track.
Yeah, really should have. Really should have. Amazing song.
Hmm. Okay, Andrew, what about you?
My number three. I remember the radio station. There was two big stations out here in California, and Jordan actually showed up to a station and did an interview. And this is back in, this is like 93, 94, before the album came out, actually. And he was saying how they were working on a solo album, and this was originally a solo track for Jordan, but they eventually turned it into a song for New Kids on the Block. I almost said New Edition. It's crazy. And for me, that was the first time I heard the song on the radio as an exclusive before anybody else could hear it. But then Joe was on the song, but the version played on the radio ended before the part of the song on the album, which kind of goes, since you walked into my life, girl, nothing ever felt so right. Oh, baby, I want to be with you. Like, dude, those background vocals, the way Walter Afanasieff makes music, it's almost like this. It sounds like crystals. It's just so crisp, clean, and just it fucking shimmers, you know? So at number 3 is Ever Since You Walked Into My Life. That should have been a single, I think. It almost had a Peter Cetera type grown man, but grown like adult contemporary, like middle of the road type sound. But the 90s did that all day. You just mentioned, Nambi, that was kind of Mariah Carey's sound on the Music Box album. So that's the one. I will say one more thing, which is too much information, but I remember at one point in the mid-10s, like 2015, 2014, I actually sang this song to an ex-Baltimore Ravens cheerleader, one of the hottest girls I ever dated, and she actually knew it. So I could do the falsetto and everything. We were walking from a concert at night, and I sang that song. I think that absolutely won me points as far as like finally securing the bag. DJ, you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, Since You Walked Into My Life is at number 3, and I just think that you have to have ears like mine to appreciate the magic that song is. It's a tapestry of sound, and it's very much a companion to If You Go Away. They're like sonic siblings.
Okay. And
I don't like it at all.
Andrew with the ballads. Okay, I can imagine what number 1 is for you. Okay, number 2. I'll just go straight to it. No jumping around. This was for the longest point in time was my favorite song on the album, but it got pipped just recently. Um, I like Dirty Dog though. Yeah, I was listening to it and say, well, this is different, you know. I didn't know the lyrics, so I didn't understand why the controversy. But I think as much as I think it's a really smashing song, I would never put it out as a first single, because I wouldn't put it out as a single just because it's just a little, you did the whole naughty by nature type of, walking around with those frogs your dogs. But I did like it. I appreciate it. I love the rap, the nice and smooth rap. I loved how it went and stuff. Dirty dog. Yeah, I was like really like, okay, this is really good. As I said, I'm listening to it in 2026 as opposed to 1994. So I don't know how I would have appreciated. I don't think I would have appreciated it back then like I did now. But I said actually I like the whole flow, and it was number 1 for a long time, but it's at number 2. Dog.
Nice, man.
Respect.
Wow. Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, goodness. Go ahead, Reed.
My number 2 is produced by Teddy Riley and Leon Sylvers, and that alone as like a base level conversation in 1994. This song is just brilliant. Co-written by Teddy, Leon, Antoine Dickey, and Markel. This should have been a single. 2 samples on this. Stevie, you mentioned it earlier. The Moments featuring the Whatnuts from Whatnuts Girls from '74, and the Honey Drippers, which we can't seem to get away from this sample. It seems to be everything sampled uses the sample Impeach the President from 1973, fantastic production. This is so good. Why was this not a single? I'm talking about Girls, absolute killer production, stunning track. And I think this made me feel this is why I bought this album. This song. This was it. And yeah, that's my number 2.
Love it.
Wow. My number 2 would have been number 1, only for the fact that at the time when it come out, I just didn't listen to it at all. It's a track I play a lot over the last couple of years. I'd go as far as to say it's the only masterpiece on this album. This track is an absolute masterpiece. And it's the ballad, If You Go Away. It just absolutely kills me. Absolutely kills me. Like you say, that I did debate should this go to number 1. But it's the only masterpiece on the album.
It's stunning, man. You're right, man.
Stunning track.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, not going to disagree with you, man.
I'm waiting for Knight to sing it for us.
Yeah. From the top. No, just kidding.
Oh, sorry. Number 2. All right. So number 2, honestly, it could have been number 1. It could have, but I had to search my feelings, Luke, and just say, nah, dude, you just have to go with what your number 1 really is and go with number 2. So, but it's a strong number 2. It actually has made, I listen to this song more often, I think, than my number 1. But yeah, it kind of goes and my falsetto is off today. So again, I should disclaimer by disclaimer. Close your eyes, realize it's you and I will never let you go. Take my hand, yeah, understand that I'm your man. If loving you is... Anyways, I will never let you go is just, even back then, I wouldn't have been, people would have been like, oh, you're listening to New Kids on the Block? I would have been like, yeah, what? That song, you couldn't hate on that song. It sounded so dedicate. And by the way, when they were on Arsenio, it was You Got the Flavor. And then the second song they did was Never Let You Go. That song was it was the moment. It was the feeling. It was the vibe. It was honestly probably, I'll just say it, because I don't know how to be PC, the blackest sounding song I think that they'd ever done, as far as back then, maybe even to this day. But it was solid, and you couldn't front on it. So, and great video too. Great video.
Okay. Good singing as well. All right. So for those just joining us, now we're going to, before I give my number 1, I'm going to count down from 10 up to number 1. And then I'll give my number 1. So at number 10 was Mrs. Right. Number 9 was Keep on Smiling. Number 8 was Let's Play House. Number 7 was Girls. Number 6 is I Can't Believe It's Over. Number 5 is If You Go Away. Number 4, You've Got the Flavor. Number 3 is Keeping My Fingers Crossed. Number 2 is Dirty Dog. And number 1 is I think I listened to this and I'm thinking this is a track that I've seen its origins from early Heavy D and the Boys, and it just kept going and it had the vibe of joy, and it's never gonna let you go, never let you go. Because that dedicated, that was Heavy D, and I'll be sure the stay dedicated. So that's in there, and then you can hear him singing when he's singing. I'm getting the vibe of Levi when he's singing Before I Let You Go. Sorry, Joy. She's giving me joy. And so I'm listening to it. The whole production. It's just, this is what when I said that Girls was missing. It felt like it was missing something for me. This just had it. Then the rap just smooth as it flowed through it, and it was just on point, and I'm like, okay, this is how you do a track and put it out. So yes, Never Gonna Let You Go is definitely at number one for me. Um, yes. Do you know what I just remember with Dirty Dog? If you listen to this song and then go and listen to him or me.
Yes, yes, dude. Thank you for that. Thank you. No, dude. Sorry, I got excited. No, I remember listening to Him or Me and going, "This sounds like da 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 da." Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow.
So choose a company, and then that's the whole flavor. So Dirty Dog. So I thought it was like, did Teddy do this? But yeah, if that so that was I forgot to mention because I listened to it, I could hear Bob stuff. So if you listen to two songs, but never never let
I've
you go.
always thought that, but never remember to say anything. So thank you for that. Man.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that connection. I didn't think of that connection.
Yes.
But when you said it out loud, I'm like, okay, wow.
It's totally there. Totally.
It's okay. Yeah, so that's my top 10. But as I said, the album was better than I thought. Hidden gems, but Never Let You Go. Definitely a vibe. And as I said, I didn't give these kids much any respect because I just thought that they were on the tail of no edition. But listening to this, even I have not really, I had to appreciate them that they love what they're doing, and beautiful tracks. Up to you, Vee.
Right. So from 10 down to 1. My number 10 was You Got the Flavor. Number 9, I Can't Believe It's Over. Number 8, Since You Walked Into My Life. Number 7, Keep On Smiling. Number 6, Dogapella. Number 5, Keep My Fingers Crossed. Number 4, Mrs. Right. Number 3, If You Go Away. Number 2, Girls. And number 1's already been mentioned by Namdi there. It's Never Let You Go. Amazing song. What can I say? This is a Teddy Riley and Leon Sylvers masterpiece. I think the way everything about this song just fits together. The same co-writers on this as Girls. You've got Teddy, Mark O'Reilly, Leon Sylvers, and Antoine Dickey. I think the production is phenomenal. Perfect production and melody. Could easily have been a song on Blackstreet's album. I think this could have been something.
Levi, yeah, I could just see. I just felt Levi would have sang it and stuff. Yeah.
And the only question I have for this song is why was it not a greater success? Because it has all of the ingredients to have done really well.
It was the third single, and I think by this time Sony just thought, let's not put any more money in it.
And I just think it was a fan base thing. I think their fan base was listening to grunge with a little bit of gangster rap, and that's it. Like, we were checking for Jodeci and everything else, so it was a very thin line that they couldn't appeal to. But in my head, though, I could see Kyle West doing a remix of it with that kind of like like night and day, like a night and day style clothing for that song. But anyway, I might mess with AI and pull it off. But man, I'm glad that both of you guys gave that song love because it was a number one candidate for me.
Yeah, it's a tough one because it's a tough one. Yeah, I'm very good song though. Never Let You Go. Very.
It's hard to it's hard to argue that it's a great number one, really.
And I believe there is another version of this album that exists out there. I think there's a different version of that particular song. I think a snippet was on YouTube some time ago. I don't know if it's there anymore, but this song, if there were remixes to this song, oh my God, it had the potential to, Yep. Stevie, what's yours?
Number 10 was the intro, Face the Music. Number 9, I'll Still Be Loving You. Number 8, Keep On Smiling. Them two particular tracks are probably, because I'm still going to I'll be playing this album all week now. Still be playing it all week. Number 7, You Got That Flavor. Number 6, Girls. Number 5, Dirty Dog. Number 4, Let's Play House. Number 3, Never Gonna Let You Go. Number 2, If You Go Away. My number 1, just a great swing track. Great to play in a club. I've heard it a lot on radio in Manchester, believe it or not. And it'll be a big surprise to a lot of you. But again, it's just one of my go-to tracks. I think it's a brilliant swing track. Like I say, they beat Teddy at his own game here. But if you want to swing with me, Mrs. Right is my number 1.
Nice.
I played that, that consistently played from back then to now. Mrs. Right. Oh,
Solid.
what a great flowing swing track that is.
It really is, man.
I hope that gets discovered, as a good album cut,
And that's the thing. It's a Donnie Wahlberg track, and I didn't think he had that in his locker, and he
awesome track, awesome,
absolutely nailed it. Totally agree with you, man.
Yeah, I had the tape back then. I just remember thinking to myself, what a shame. Like, this is a good song. It's just buried on side 2. And this is just the wrong time to be coming out with this album right now. But, man, girl, you are so fine, so fine. Thank you for validating my taste, Stevie, with that number 1. That feels good. I like the song even more. But there's actually, before I go into my top 10, I do have a cringe memory with that song. And that is, there's a song that says, my friends say never let the heart control you. So that was the first time I actually learned that there's ways to approach life. This is back when I was in high school, being a thinker and a feeler and being controlled by your heart. I remember I'm telling you guys way too much, but my mom's no longer with us. But I remember there was a serious family issue. And I remember telling my mom, imagine this like teenager trying to tell your mom how to think. He said, Mom, don't let your heart control you. Like, this is what the song says, And I was listening to that song driving, thinking to myself, what a shithead I was. Like, and it actually impacted my love for the song. I had to skip it because I didn't want to dwell on the cringe of that memory. But anyway, yeah, Mrs. Right. All right. Anyways, I hope you guys appreciate my randomness. My number 10 is Dirty Dog. My number 9 is Keep On Let's Play House. I just held back because I have a childhood memory from that. Number 8 is Keep On Smiling. Number 7 is You Got That Flavor. Number 6 is Mrs. Right. Number 5 is I'll Still Be Loving You. Number 4 is Girls. Number 3 is Ever Since You Walked Into My Life. Number 2 is Never Let You Go. And thank you, Marco, for the Markel Riley shout out for the Donnie rap, because that rap is dope and mature. My number 1 is tied. It's tied. It's tied with the intro. I love the intro so much. So I'm glad the producer of the intro, uncredited, is on this podcast. Thank you for that. And there's a really prophetic thing, because Donnie actually says, no strings attached on that intro. And I thought to myself, was that some foreshadow of like NSYNC coming up like years later? You kids, we birthed you. We're your daddies. Like Backstreet, NSYNC, all those other groups, they came from us, So anyway, he said no strings attached. I thought it was a foreshadow. But this song at number 1, I liked because even Danny Wood, who gets like really no love, really, like locally, has some cool moments on this song. But I need you. I'm so sorry that I made you cry. You are everything good in my life. The tears have finally opened my eyes. If you go away, girl, you're taking my heart with you. If you go away, girl, you're breaking my heart in two. If you only stay, girl, I promise you the world. So please don't ever go away. And then like Danny has if you go away, girl, at the end. Anyway, Jordan, Joe, and Danny all shine on that record. And then on the record, the whole like never ever leave you, girl, Promise You Love Me Forever, all that shit at the end was not on the 91 version. So that was just extra sauce on the album. So If You Go Away is number 1 and is absolutely the New Kids' best album. Not best album, best song.
Did NSYNC or Backstreet Boys ever make a song as good as that?
No.
There you go.
Didn't have to think about it. No.
That's why I said that was my Ricky, Ralph, and Johnny collab on that. It just gave me the vibe of
New Edition.
New Edition type of how the vocals were there, and
it's almost a lost track, that, isn't it? If you think about it, it's a lost track.
And Andrew, so I received lists, right? And then Monica heard that song this week, and she said, "I'm going to submit my list, and it's going to have one song on it. It's If You Go Away. That's it. That's my list."
Aww.
So I just wanted to share that with you because I think you'd appreciate that comment.
Big ups to Mon. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful track. I just sent you guys a video of during the residency of NSYNC that New Kids on the Block, that they were still performing
Never Let You Go.
Never
Nice.
Let You Go. I mean, that shows that they actually appreciate the song more than the audience did back in the day. But it's a beautiful track. But then also this one, I'm sure. Did you go to see them when they were in Vegas?
Believe it or not, I've seen them so many times. I admit it. I know myself. No, I've seen them probably 4 or 5 times actually, because they do put on a really dope show. And I'm gonna break it down and defend myself. Okay, I don't defend myself. But the first time I saw them was it was them, Boyz II Men, Paula Abdul. I'm forgetting somebody. No, it was just them. That was in Brooklyn, and that was a dope show. Second time, I don't know. I don't remember, but it was a lot. But the ultimate show I saw was at Fenway Park, which is Boston. It was them and Belle Biv DeVoe. And it was 2021. I thought that the New Edition would just kind of show up because, like, why wouldn't you show up to like your home city and just make it happen? And what's his name? D Nice was the DJ. But Salt and Pepper, Naughty by Nature, Debbie Gibson. Anyway, all I say is after the Fenway show, I was like, I don't need to see anything else by them because nothing's gonna top that, So I skipped the Vegas residencies. The shows I did see, they actually did have a set. There was the Boyz II Men one in 2017. They did do Face the Music. So they did Dirty Dog. No, they did Dirty Dog. They did Never Let You Go. And they did, they must have done something else. No, maybe it was just those two. Either way, the answer to your question is no, because it's like, I don't need to see anything else by them. But maybe I will, because it's my damn city. It's like literally 18-minute drive, like, to see them. But I've seen them enough times.
Okay.
Wow.
What about master lists? What did you get, Pete?
So from top to bottom, 15 through to 1, including the Dogapella. Number 15, it was on the album, on many albums. So it was, but number 15 is I'll Be Waiting. I know, Andrew, you really don't like that song, but
the song is atrocious. Sorry, Danny. Should have been left on the album.
But the production is a lot better than I remember it. That's all I'll say. That had
production is good.
Eric B and Rakim. Eric B is president from '87, and LL Cool J to the Break of Dawn from 1990. That was number 15. Hold on 1 second. 15. I'll Be Waiting. Number 14 was I Can't Believe It's Over. Number 13, Dogapella. Number 12, Keeping My Fingers Crossed. Number 11, Since You Walked Into My Life. Number 10, Let's Play House. Number 9, Intro, Face the Music. Number 8, and it's nice to see the intro crack the top 10. I just want to say that. Number 8, I'll Still Be Loving You. Number 7, You Got the Flavor. Number 6, Keep On Smiling. Number 5, Dirty Dog.
Wow.
Number 4, Girls.
Wow.
Number 3, Mrs. Right.
Whoa.
Number 2, If You Go Away.
So we already know.
Number 1, Never Let You Go, is what people.
The 3 tracks we picked as number 1 were 1, 2, and 3 in the chart anyway.
Yeah. But on this occasion, Namdi, me and you win, bro. What's up?
Yes.
What's up,
Yes.
winner?
I mean, really, in terms of like best songs, it is Never Gonna Let You Go versus If You Go Away. They're the two, song-wise, I think the best songs on the album.
Yes.
Easily the best songs. And obviously we're going to do, Namdi, what do you give the album out of 10?
As out of a 10, I would give it I'd give it an 8.
BJ?
For me, I'd give it a 6.5. I think that's a solid. It's a good album, isn't that? That's not like that's a B. That's a B.
6.5. Wow. I'm going to go with Namdi. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Andrew, what are you saying?
I'm feeling peer pressure now. My original number was higher, but I think this number is actually fair. I'll give it an 8.5.
Okay. Oh, you were higher.
I was gonna give it a 9, but I'm
Okay.
gonna give it an 8.5.
Yeah, as I
We've got
said,
2 8s, we've got an 8.5, we've got a 6.5. What's the average then? Is that a 7.5 average for this album?
no, it'll be about an 8 because he's got 8.5.
Yeah.
The 7, so it's about 7.95 or something like that. But anyway, it's more of an 8. Yeah, definitely.
I love how Joseph also says that I'll Be Waiting was an ass track. Like, I literally tried. It was like no disrespect to the vocals, but the vocals killed me. Like, it was just like, how did this get past like the censors? I would have dropped it off the album. Like, stop it. Anyway, sorry, Danny, again. Joe was on there too. Then Joe was fine, but no. Put some effects on that shit. Like, just it brings the whole thing down.
The average it's actually 7.75 between all of us. That's where the album sits.
Yeah, that's a fair.
That's fair.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been great, guys. As I said, it's been a long time, and being able to celebrate music, and I think that has always been the motto, is about must be the music, and being able to celebrate the arts and the music that we love, in all forms. So we will be back in due time, and yes, I'll be off on my sabbatical as we get into August, and so we'll start thinking about other things. And but as always, we would always say that our show is only as good as you guys who take part and comment. As you can see, the comments, some are fun, some are interesting, but whatever it is, that is part of the show, and we just try and stay as fun and positive as we can. So,
and a big shout to Jake for triggering everyone tonight as well. He did his job.
It does help, and thank you, Storyteller 34, for coming on board and appreciating the platform. It's a platform of
this
love.
album's trash, man. How could you be reviewing this album? It's trash.
It's a platform of love and stuff. So, but anyway, hopefully before Andrew gets
It's
married,
R&B. Who's that? Who's that John Knight looking like?
We'll be back and we'll find something else to celebrate. So anyway, New Kids are in Europe right now. How timely! I'm sure they'll get to see this. You'd be surprised. Well,
Yeah,
you'd be surprised. I remember interviewing Roddy Darkchild, and Mary comes up on Fat Joe's podcast and says, "Yeah, Rodney recently said," and I'm like, "Okay." Either somebody showed it to her, but she's picked that, and then Brandy also picked up of when Rodney was talking about one of the tracks he did on Full Moon, and why she doesn't sing it anymore. So these people who watch, and so and we've been positive, so I'm sure we may get a call up. But Jordan, it was good that you could sit in with us today.
Hey, look out for my new album. I'm recording a new album.
Okay. Anyway, so we'll catch you guys, and as always, it's always been great, and keep celebrating the music. Take care.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that kind of.
Somewhere in between.
For even loving us, on which I didn't miss you.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No, okay.
They don't understand what Jonas Boys and winning all spirits.
Play it.
And all these guys, they all work together.
I mean, I love all different